If you're trying to land high-paying clients, or maybe you just don't know where to start, then this video is going to change everything for you, because I'm about to reveal the 5 brand new outreach methods that are consistently getting people clients in 2025. And no, these aren't the same outdated tactics you've already heard of 100 times before, or that you've tried and haven't actually even worked for you. I've actually personally been gatekeeping these outreach methods for the last few months, just to use for myself and for my students. My students, of which 3 of them actually hit 10K per month just last month in their interviews, along with everyone else's interviews who hit 10K per month are also on this very channel. So without any further ado, here's what it all looks like getting into the video. Now, the first and foremost thing that I want to teach and show you guys is actually what not to do, because understanding this and understanding why the outreach works is going to be the best way to actually make it work for you. These outreach methods are amazing. They're awesome. They work really well. They help get you clients, but understanding how they work is the only way to use them. Otherwise, if you try to just do some cheap copy and paste sort of stuff, it will never ever work. So without any further ado, I'm going to go into this post, which was actually posted by Dan Henry. And this is extremely important because this is what's going through every single person's mind that you outreach to. Every single business owner, this is what they're thinking. Usually they get hit up with a very common and just terrible line like this. Hey Dan, love your stuff. Curious if you're doing anything with email marketing right now. This is a very, very common outreach method of copywriters that is just completely outdated and doesn't work anymore. So if you're doing this or you're guilty of it, look, man, it's all good, but please never send it again, because this is what you're going to get. And then this is him sarcastically saying, no, dude, I'm not. I've never sent an email ever. Just because you compliment someone doesn't mean your message is genuine. If you're going to do outbound or outreach, as he's saying, don't be a tool. Research your prospect. How annoying is it to get the same messages every single day when you just want to hop in your inbox and help some people give value to your audience? And you have to sift through these tools. If you put the same amount of hours into building a brand you do prospecting with just a pinch of patience, you could be living life on easy mode. Don't be a tool. So let's actually break down all the things that he's saying there, because not only is he telling you all the things that are going through business owners' heads when you outreach to them, but he's also literally giving you the advice. He's telling you what to do in order to get him as a client or just get other business owners as a client. So the first big mistake is the compliment of love your stuff. And this is absolutely terrible. See, the meaning behind showing or telling a compliment is that you're trying to gain their trust. But the problem is when it's super ingenuine or just stupid, they're going to see right through it, and they're going to see you as trying to flatter them. And everybody hates flattery. Flattery is like walking into a party and be like, hey man, nice shirt, want to buy me a drink? It's just a terrible way to go about things, and it feels really cheap and also diminishes trust like crazy. Nobody will ever want to work with you if you're throwing around compliments like cool content, bro, or I like the color of your website, it's really cool. If you're going to do compliments in general, then here are the 2 things you need to keep in mind. 1, they need to be hyper specific, meaning you need to be commenting something completely specific that would only make sense to them. For example, if you are commenting on something that's on their story, or you're going back to one of their old posts and actually sending it to them and saying something about it, or saying something hyper specific about what they're doing right now, something that they're interested in, etc. And then finally, you want to keep your pitch and your compliment completely separate by at least a couple of days. And I call this compliment marination. So you want to send them a compliment, that's fine, nothing's wrong with that, but you want to let it marinate for at least 2 to 3 to 4 days before you send any other form of outreach or pitch, because otherwise, again, it's just going to come off as flattery. Whereas if you just wait and you leave it alone for a little bit, now it seems a lot more genuine. Like you complimented them, you went on about your day or a couple of days, and then you come back and actually pitch them, and you just kind of think about it. It's like something at the top of your mind, and that's how you want to make them feel. You don't want to make them feel like you're outreaching to 100 people per day, even though you might be. Instead, you want them to feel like they are the only person that you are outreaching to. And then the other big red flag is that he's asking, hey man, do you do anything with email marketing right now? The funny thing is that like a quick 30 seconds of research or 30-second Google search, you'd be able to tell if Dan is doing email right now. So it literally just proves that you have no idea who he is, what he does, and you're just sending out this message en masse to just everybody. This is the equivalent of going up to Gordon Ramsay, for example, and being like, hey man, you ever thought about cooking? You into cooking at all? It's like, brother, you need to actually see who you're outreaching to and audit them before you even send your very first outreach message. And the final thing to really consider here is that Dan isn't just a business owner. He is essentially like a business influencer. He's one of the very famous and big guys who are doing business right now. So to go to him and say, hey man, are you doing email marketing right now? Maybe I can help blow up your business with email marketing. You're essentially like going up to Shakespeare and being like, hey man, I think I can teach you how to write poetry. This is, again, not the right way to go about it. Instead, you want to see if you can help them by saving them more time and optimizing some things because they're too busy in their business. Not, hey man, I can save your business, I can blow up your business just by writing a few words. That is not the angle that you want to go for. So, what do you actually want to do? Well, I have these 5 methods that I'm going to share with you that are actually going to help you get clients as soon as humanly possible. Now, 2 of them are prospecting methods and 3 of them are outreach methods. 2 being prospecting methods. Now, this is extremely important for a couple of main reasons. 1 is because you need to know how to quickly find prospects so you can get your outreach messages out as soon as possible. If you're spending 50% of your time finding people and 50% of your time outreaching to people, then you are wasting most of your time. Instead, you want like 10 to 20% of your time to be finding people and then 80% of your time to be outreaching to people. This is because, again, we're going to be doing outreach with research. We're going to be going deep on every single one of our outreach messages. And because of that, we are going to want to make sure we spend extra time on outreach. If it comes down to getting clients as soon as possible, I want to spend as much time outreaching as I can, which means we need to prospect efficiently. We have to make it so that it's basically like shooting fish in a barrel. We shouldn't be out here spending 10 minutes to search for just one business that we're going to outreach to. So there's 2 ways that I have in this video. I'm going to show you exactly how to do that. And on top of that, you want to be outreaching to people ideally that aren't being outreached to all of the time, every single day. Like Dan Henry, for example, everybody's already outreached to them. I've outreached to him. I've talked about it on this channel before. He actually replied to me and reviewed some of my copy as well. So we want people who have a lot of money, maybe aren't that famous or don't get outreached to all the time, and we want to be efficient with it. So what are the 2 ways that we can actually go about doing this? So the very first way is by using what I call the many chat method. So let's go into Instagram and I will show you exactly what this looks like. So for example, we have this right here, which is a post. Now, at the end of the post, you can see it says comment freedom below if you want the full breakdown of how I built a 100K fitness business without burnout. Now, it's very important to note that there are a few caveats to this prospecting method. Number 1 is you want to make sure that the profile you're on actually sells to businesses themselves, not sells to people who want to start a business. The reason why is because people who want to start a business don't have a business. The people who do have a business have a business. I don't know how much more simple I can explain it, but this is why. See, when you go to a post like this, you have a lot of people that are going to be commenting freedom. And all of these people are who? A lot of them are already people who own a fitness business. So now, just like I said, it's like shooting fish in a barrel. And I have another example right here from Devin Jotho. And he, in this video, is saying, if you want this content framework, this content template, then I'll send it over to you if you say the word viral or viral flow or whatever it is. So when you go through this, what are you going to find? You're going to find a bunch of people who are already doing content. Lots of them already have businesses. So this is an extremely simple and easy way to go through and just go through people who are actual business owners and not waste your time by coming across the same people over and over and over again whenever you search up hashtags or keywords. And it's just a really easy way to find businesses who might be making a lot of money still, but might not be that famous or have tens of thousands of followers. And for the second prospecting method, which is essentially just like I said, shooting fish in a barrel, it's actually going to the school platform where you have these communities. And in these communities, as you can see, this one says scale your coaching. So this guy helps people who run coaching businesses actually scale. You can find people who run e-com stores, et cetera, et cetera. There's tons of different niches and tons of different communities out there. But as you can see, this has 16,000 members of people who own businesses. 16,000 business owners are inside of here. So again, it's as easy as it gets. Now, this community is owned by a guy named Brandon Forbes. I actually met him in real life at Funnel Hacking Live. So sorry, brother, if you get a whole bunch of new copywriters into your community, but this is what it looks like. And you can join any community who actually teaches business owners. Just like I said, one of the best ways to do this and just take the whole idea is to go where business owners hang out. Go and find where they hang out, where they are identifying themselves, and then just go and outreach to all of them. Now, next up is the Miro and Loom combo method. Now, this is an amazing method, and it goes a lot farther than, again, saying some crappy email like, hey, you doing anything with email marketing right now? Now, this method does take a little bit of skill. It's probably an intermediate to advanced sort of method, but if you're a beginner, you should be trying this anyways and doing the best that you can. So a lot of people already know about sending Loom videos as outreach. This is an extremely effective way to outreach to people. If you don't know what a Loom is, it is essentially just a screen recording combined with yourself a recording that actually just puts you right there in the corner. Super simple. And then you show them some sort of value. What do you show them, you might ask? Well, let me show you right here inside of Miro. And as a side note, if you want access to any of the resources, files, documents, or whatever, I'm right here at Tyson.scales. A lot of people are having trouble just finding all the resources, even though they are linked down below. So you can just message me on Instagram and I will give you any of these resources. I'll be around there. And just make sure that you're following me. Otherwise, Instagram won't let me see your messages. It will show up in some crazy request tab. So message me there if you want any of these. So the very first thing that you can actually add to Miro, and you're looking at Miro right now, and I have a lot of templates and things that I'm actually going to share with you in this video. You can go in here and you can show pictures. And the reason why this is extremely important, again, is we want to prove that we've done our research. So I see that he's done YouTube videos over here on the left. Here's just a picture of him. I show his Instagram following. I show his headline. So this way I'm able to actually prove that I know what his funnel looks like. I know where he's sending people to. I know how many people are actually in his funnel because I look at his content. I see how many followers he has. I see what his headlines are. And then this, again, just goes to show that I've already done my homework. I've done the work. People want to know what it's like to work with you before they work with you. And this is a great way to actually do that. And then over here, I have a picture of myself as well. And then down here, you see that we can also add mind maps. Now, don't let this overwhelm you. And then also, don't try to get too fancy with absolutely everything. Right here, I'm showing you a few examples. Most people aren't going to need all of this. But for example, over here, you have booked calls, and these are all the things that you can add to have more booked calls. You have landing pages. I do these too. You have a low ticket webinar. So right here, you can see that he has a low ticket webinar. This is the headline for it. So you can just go through this and explain all of these concepts. Now, as a rule of thumb, you're going to want your Loom video to be literally like 4 minutes maximum, 4 minutes maximum, not 4 minutes and 30 seconds, not 5 minutes, 4 minutes maximum. And the shorter, the better. There's a few different ways that you can go about this, but you want it to be nice and short so that they can actually watch it and not have to sit there bored. You can also show testimonials and social proof in Miro, which is super big. Now, you can do most of, if not all of this stuff already in documents, but in Miro, you just have way more freedom to just explain better, to draw things. I just find it goes so much farther than something like Google Docs in the first place, and you can just show more. So really cool. As you can see, these are a bunch of testimonials, and then right here is a bunch of results that I've already gotten. So for example, I get 70 people in my email list on that day, 94 people on my email list on that day. So yeah, more proof. If I got some really good open rates or whatever, these open rates are what? 46% open rates. So I can use that as testimonials as well. So this goes a really long way if you have any social proof. On top of that is visual diagrams. If you're trying to explain how you're actually going to help their business with copy, for example, then I can say something like, this is what an automation looks like. It's an action-based automation. And this has been proven to show at least 5 to 10% more sales from email. So let's say you do 50K per month from email, then this is an easy 55K just by implementing this one tweak. You can also add some lighthearted memes in here. So for example, I have this, which is a lighthearted meme. You can use your face, you can use their face, but again, it just goes a long way showing them that you are just witty, you're being funny, you're being cool, and you're not being overly formal and overly corporate. People want to work with people that they want to work with, and this is a really easy and simple way to do that. On top of that, I also have some Miro frameworks that I can show you guys too. So inside these Miro frameworks, I can't give them to you because I actually purchased them online. So it would be wrong of me to give them to you because that would basically be like stealing. But as you can see, this is what Miro can do. Now, don't get overwhelmed. This all looks complex. You don't need to do all the things that I'm showing you here, but I want to show you this so that it can inspire you on why this is such a powerful method. Because again, what a lot of people are doing is just saying, hey man, do you need a copywriter right now? Imagine you use one of these and you very eloquently explain some form of their marketing and how you can help them make more money. It just looks a lot more professional than are you doing anything with email marketing right now. And then lastly, the last thing that I wanted to show you guys is you can actually just go into Sheets in Miro itself. So this is an example that I have. You can actually change all the rates and then everything will update. So this is like 3% of the people who watch whatever it is, a YouTube video or a funnel, will opt in. If we get 50,000 views, 1,500 people will opt in, et cetera, et cetera. So I can go right here and instead of 3%, what if it's 2%? Well, then the result at the end is 15,000, right? If their product price is 6,000, et cetera, et cetera. But what if instead of 2%, it's 5%? Well, now that makes it even more. But what if the show up rate for their calls isn't 50%? What if it's 70%, which I've been able to get before? 52,000. So this is a really simple way that you can actually walk businesses through the numbers. Again, side note, this is probably for the more advanced people, the whole sheets thing, because you have to be eloquent and actually good with sheets, no business numbers and no ROIs. I actually went into ChatGPT and asked it if all of these numbers made sense. It said yes. So that's why I made it. That's for the people who kind of know a little bit about ROI and marketing in general. Now, the next method I want to share with you guys is the promo follow-up, or just keeping up with the people in general. And this is something that a lot of people miss out on. So every person that you outreach to, obviously you're going to want to follow them. I guess it's maybe not that obvious because a lot of people don't do it, but when you follow them, you're able to look at things like their stories, see if they're running any promos, and see if they're hiring anybody. And I've used this exact method to actually get my very first 3K per month client from a guy that I had been following up with for a few months already. So let me show you exactly how that went. So right here, I had the client getting archives. This is literally just a document where I showcase every single DM that has gotten me like 3K per month, 4K per month clients, and even some that are from my students. Again, if you want it, my Instagram is tyson.scales. Send me a message and I will send it over to you. So as you can see right here, I actually outreached to him already. And I sent him a video. I sent him a video intro DM, which is essentially just a video of me holding up my phone saying, hey, my name is Tyson. This is what I do. Not sure if it's something you need right now, but if you're somewhat interested, let me know in the DMs. Still a very effective method. I didn't add it into this very video because I've already talked about it at length before. Dude says, I'm good, thanks bro. Basically just says, no, leave me alone. I said, all good, let me know if anything changes. And then I replied to their story. This wouldn't happen if I wasn't keeping up and keeping tabs with them over the long period of time. And you'd be so surprised at how effective this is because he's putting on his story that he's hiring salespeople and not even a copywriter. But I saw opportunity. I saw an opportunity where nobody else did. I shot my shot. Hey, I was wondering if you're still looking for any top tier talent. He says, yes, you can apply here. That was for the sales position. And I said, well, I was wondering if you're looking for copywriting or marketing talent. He said, I am looking for people for our marketing team right now. One thing led to another. And I sent him my portfolio. He was already sold on me. So first month, 3K per month, went from there. It was amazing. It was amazing. And this is a multi-7-figure client. A multi-7-figure client is making hundreds of thousands of dollars every single month. He served as a great testimonial and it was just amazing overall. So this is a highly, highly, highly effective method. And all you really have to do is go through your stories on your Instagram every single day. Every single day, go through your stories, keep up with people. If someone's running a promo, then that is a great time to outreach to them because every promo comes with new emails, new pages, and overall just new stuff that people are going to need. Now, the last but certainly not least method on this list is called the upfront value method. And the reason why this works so well is simply because it is the opposite of what we saw before, the bad example. Because when you're hitting somebody up and saying, hey man, do you need email marketing right now? You're essentially going to be doing mass outreach. Whereas upfront value works on the opposite principles. Let me just show you. So this document right here is called the $3,000 email copywriting tutorial. This is a brand new free resource that I've given access to everybody. So I've told you who you can write for. So these are different examples. I have a bunch of different examples in here, ranging from easy, medium to hard. The hard guys are like business owners who write for other business owners. So it's going to be a little bit more difficult, but I show you all the structures, what to write, how to copy their brand voice and everything else. So you should be practicing writing copy with this very resource every single day. Now, what a lot of people do is they just go ahead, they do two things. One, they make fairy tale copy, which means that they just write copy in a document, not even about a prospect, which is a huge no-no. And then the second thing they do is they write copy about a prospect and then it just gets lost away in their computer forever. What you want to do instead is you want to use that copy, that practice you just wrote for outreach. So for example, if you write 3 emails per day, each of them for different business owners, now you have 3 different opportunities to send that exact copy to people who you never talked to before. And the reason why this works so well is because you're showing up with the risk of them just not wanting it or just not opening your message in the first place. So Now, instead of just hitting them up saying, I'm a copywriter, do you need me? You are actually showing that you've already done research on their business. And if you show them that you can write really good copy, they don't want, like I said, somebody to come into their business and make them millions of dollars with copy. A lot of the times it's just saving themselves more time, saving themselves money, and outsourcing work and optimizing things. So if you prove that you can do that by sending them work up front and showing them that you want to work with them and not just telling them or being lazy about it, this is going to go a very, very long way. Now, again, just as a reminder, if you want any of those amazing resources, you can hit me up on Instagram at Tyson.scales. That's it for today. And of course, I'll see you guys on the next one. Get out there and do some outreach. Peace.